Welcome back in, everybody. Getting into this one, HYDRA looking incredibly in control in that first game, and there was a little bit of a spike. The team spirit, Lol got himself that rapier. It looked like he was going to mow down those heroes, even taking down the Morphling twice, or close to twice through the Aegis, and then some good rolls coming through there from the Beastmaster there. And Cloud just looked every time he was needed, he was able to find those rolls. And in the end, HYDRA, in a 49-minute game with a 42K net worth lead, take game number one away from Team Spirit. And Spirit, Harry, they've got to put some respect on HYDRA's name now, because that was a great game from the side of HYDRA.
Team Spirit, I think they always put some respect to their opponents, but they have this one game where they try something that they theory crafted about, maybe tried one scrim, worked out, didn't, whatever, and they want to try it out in a competitive environment. Now we're going to see Team Spirit going to go for something that has been shown to work for them, and I really expect Laurel to, this time around, have a magic damage dealing hero, because that's where he himself and the whole team thrives.
Yeah, and we'll see here what HYDRA want to be banning out, because again, that Rubik for Team Spirit, but they do have that first pick.
10 seconds remaining.
But the Rubik is one of those heroes that Team Spirit seem to love picking up, and we'll see if that gets let through here from HYDRA. Meanwhile, again, the Dragon Knight didn't look like a massive threat after having a good start in that early game. Collapse just wasn't able to get going on that hero. Like you said, having to go for 4-staffs, having to go for protective items on that Dragon Knight isn't really where you want to be going with that hero, right?
Yeah, it's not. Your game just didn't start off well, or the game in general didn't start off well. And then you just have to find a way to be useful, right? You understand you're never going to be this tanky guy. If you go for tanky items, you're just going to be deleted. So you're not a frontliner, you're a stun, and you're hoping you're at least going to be a double stun in a fight. It did happen, him getting a couple of stuns in fights, but that's just because he wasn't really the priority target.
Yeah, true. And we'll see here. I mean, HYDRA, they're taking the time about this next ban, so they do have first pick available to them if they wanted to maybe let that Undyne through as well. Undyne, one of the more popular heroes in the tour at the minute. So yeah, they ban out the Rubik and let him through the Undyne. Now, Team Spirit, do they take it out? Because there's still the Broodmother here, but Spirit, with Lol being a Snapfire mid player, there are ways to deal with the Brood if they do let this through, and HYDRA think the being cheeky picking it up in this first pick.
10 seconds remaining.
If they let the Brood through, I think that's because they want to play a Naga or a Slark on Yatoro. So, but I don't think that's a Naga, okay, but the Slark I wouldn't like. If you're picking Naga, you pick Naga and the Snapfire. You make sure that the enemies don't have a Snapfire, and then maybe you can win that lane heavily if you're a Team Spirit. But my advice would be ban it out. Brood, still very tough to deal with. Cloud has shown that these heroes, they definitely sit well with him, and if the game opens up in the same way that it did previously, he himself again is going to be able to take over it completely. So Team Spirit, okay, they get rid of the Beastmaster. Okay, let's see. HYDRA, is it Brood time?
Do they have it? Yeah. Are they thinking about it? Because it's there on a plate for them if they want it. But like you say, there are instant replies if they want to, but they do. They don't want to be giving that through to Team Spirit either. So HYDRA will be picking this one up. Is it just going to be the Snap Naga pick to come out in this next two? Or do you think you have a little bit of time, that you can come back for those later?
Dying? Okay. Anti-Mage.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Anti-Mage is a type of hero that can really crush some heroes in lane, though I don't know if with an Undying that's gonna be the case. You don't get the kills, but you zone the Broodmother out. That's not bad. And actually, with the magic resist spell, or what it's called, that's your analyst for you guys. But yeah, the counter spell, you can return the Silken Bola. So the reason why Slark and the Naga are being picked against the Brood, one of the reasons, is because they can remove it in the laning stage. Anti-Mage is never even gonna get hit by it. So I'm fine with it. It's actually a really cool approach.
Okay, and we'll see. I mean, yeah, if Yatoro can get the build up as well, classic Battle Fury builder on the Anti-Mage, so should be able to deal with the overwhelming Spider army when they start to come out. The Ench for damage, though, again, once HYDRA, they feel comfortable with this hero, so we'll see which way around it's going to play. But yeah, they ban out the Magnus. It makes sense. Collapse, if you're looking for an instant impact hero, after Collapse having not such a great game in that last one. Magnus, a hero that he loves, and taking that away from him, maybe that's something they were looking towards, and all of a sudden it's not available. And like the Centaur and the Doom as well, another two heroes that he does have massive impact on when he plays. So maybe they take one of those away here now as well.
And also considering that this is gonna be a anti-mage versus the Brood, I kind of expect Yadro to get a Vanguard. That is, if he had a Magnus, he might not even disassemble it into a Battle Fury, just stay with the Vanguard, you go for like a Diffusal and play that build. But when you're up against the Brood without the Magnus, you're gonna get the Vanguard and then you're gonna disassemble it into a Battle Fury. So I'm kind of expecting that to be the case, and Magnus would make that kind of a build even more powerful.
Yeah, and is there anything that from that last match you want to be taken away from the side of HYDRA, because they're not going to be able to get the Beastmaster's already been banned out. It's the Broodmother coming out anyway. But is there anything that you think you should be taken away from HYDRA here that could contest well into Team Spirit's lineup with the anti-mage?
I think the Beastmaster was the main one, and now it is very tough to say. There are these physical damage dealers that actually can be a problem for the anti-mage to get ahead before he does. Drow, Ursa come to mind. There's DA. A lot of these heroes that are actually good against the anti-mage can also be very bad against the anti-mage, because with this hero, you have so many ways to play it. And this is why I like when Yadro and Team Spirit do it, because it's not the same. You have to, the whole team needs to play the hero properly, right? And in my mind, if that's the case, there's not really there's not a real counter for the anti-mage, because he can cut waves. He always has an option. He can cut waves, he can split push, he can fight, he can farm, right? You have so many options. None of them are super easy to pull off, but you're capable of each one of them. And if your team follows you through your decisions, no matter what happens, like, guys, I'm cutting the wave, you're defending the base and stuff like that, if it is coordinated well, I don't really see counters, quote unquote, for the anti-mage, other than, let's say, Terrorblade, because he takes down all of your towers and he just stands his ground and it has the range, right? So, but even that hero can be countered. So I don't really see a straight up hero that you're just afraid of as an anti-mage.
Okay, well, we'll see if there is anything that springs to mind for them to pick up again. The Broodmother is still there, so like you were talking about the other day, the Slardars heroes like that not available, because you don't really run that Brood mid anymore. It's not a mid lane hero in the current meta, so you have kind of boxed that hero into the off lane. So we'll see if they have any more bright ideas, HYDRA, here. Do they want to play in that carry position, or they want to play in the mid lane? And maybe Warwick this time has a bit of a better matchup in that mid lane too.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. As long as you have impact in the game, even if you don't have the best matchup, you're going to be fine. And HYDRA's shown that the laning phase isn't everything, at least not in the mid lane, if you understand how to utilize your supports. And the Spirit will get rid of the Ember. So what are they gunning for? Probably they might want to go for something like a Storm Spirit, but Storm does well in the lane, at least against the Ember.
Yeah, I was just thinking that there as well, that it is still available. I think it's the first time today it's got through the draft, and it's available if Team Spirit want to go for it. They've got that anti-mage, so if HYDRA want to pick that one up, they've got to think twice about it. But Team Spirit, it could be comfortable for them.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably not going to be picked up right now. I still think right now you get some magic damage on your support. There it is. It's not the most damage, but it's okay. And we've seen the Undying Disruptor duo support work out quite well. Plus, it's a deny pick from HYDRA, who most definitely would have wanted the Disruptor against the Anti-Mage, who really isn't a BKB building hero.
Yeah. Is there anything that you think here HYDRA are going to answer back with? Like I say, the Storm Spirit is nice for Team Spirit, because it means you've got that magic burst damage to come through against the Enchantress, the Broodmother as well. The Remnant's not too bad against the Spiderlings, and you've got here HYDRA looking for the ban out the puck as well. The Lycan's gone, so what's it going to be? They're going to go for the Shadow Fiend carry, I want to say.
Yep, I think so. Though no, I think it has been Kami that has played it mostly, and I like it. Again, Anti-Mage doesn't buy BKB. Heroes without the BKB cannot fight an SF. Of course, once you get a Skadi, once you get a Basher, you can. But at this mid-game scenario, when you don't have all of your items, you are going to be in a ton of trouble. And they go for the Tiny, which I like it in both the support and the core role. If it's a support laning with an SF, you know, toss people back, triple raise is very easy to connect. Then, if it is a core, Disruptor and the Undying, they can get bursted down very easily at the start of the fight, especially because the anti-mage is going to be on the other part of the map. So overall, I do like it, and it is a hero that somewhat counters the storm.
Yeah, I'm just thinking as well, if you do put it in the Shadow Fiend, yeah, really nice if you can get the toss back underneath the towers. Team Spirit, they go for the Pango, Collapse or Lull. I don't think we've seen many offlane Pangos, so
this
yeah,
is Lull.
Okay.
For sure. Collapse is more of a greedier type offlaner. Laurel will usually play the sacrificial one. I don't think I've ever seen Collapse play the Pango. Remaining. Just not his style of hero for sure.
Yeah. Okay, and so you're looking at this now as well. You do have the final pick in Team Spirit. So if you're Hydra, coming up against, you know, Collapse, he's got this last hero to pick. What is it that you want to be taking away from him? You know, because like say the Centaur is still there. How effective that's going to be, you know, with maybe a glimpse back from the Disruptor into the
Mars
Stomp,
Centaur. I think Mars, Mars and the Centaur. Those two I wouldn't want to play against if I was Hydra, especially because in the lane Disruptor can set up for both. They will ban out the Doom, but I feel like you could get away from the Doom if you have a couple of 4-staffs. You're still fine, but overall against the Mars and the Centaur, the laning phase in general is going to be kind of tough.
10 seconds remaining.
And we'll see if Hydra, they actually opt to ban one of those out here. They could even remaining. Nah, you don't pick the mid-Mars. It's just not a thing anymore.
Yeah. Team ban.
I wouldn't want to see it. They will ban out the Tusk, and understandably so. All of your heroes are very, very susceptible to physical damage. That's one of the reasons why Hydra did go for the SF. So even if they do get to the later portions of the game, you make a mistake and you can get slapped down to death, right? None of these heroes are known for their high armor. Anti-Mage does build into stats, but he's still... He always feels weak against minus armor, and that is what the SF does bring to the table.
Okay, and we'll see here. I mean, Hydra, final pick. Any ideas?
Ooh, I first of all, I don't know if this Tiny is going to be mid or not, so that is already something that I'm kind of unsure of. But let's say if they need a mid laner, they need someone that's going to be finishing people off. So maybe in that regard, it's better to put the Tiny in the mid lane and just get something like a Clockwork or something along those lines to lane up with the SF.
Okay, well, let's see. I mean, they don't have a lot of reserve time left, so they do need to be, you know, talking this one out as Team Spirit looking for this final plan. And it's kind of funny because obviously the Tusk being banned out there as well, that's kind of ambiguous whether they think it's going to be a support Tusk or a mid lane Tusk. And we'll see. I mean, they are taking the time to think about this final one here as well. So they take away the Treant. So maybe thinking this is going to be that mid-Tiny and Hydra. Well, with 30 seconds left, which way are they going to be leaning with these heroes? And what's going to be the final pick?
Let's see, if they would go for a Clockwork, they would be lacking a bit in terms of team fight. That is what's scaring me for the Hydra, because they have no team fight here. You're up against Rolling Thunder, you're up against Static Storm and the Tombstone, which means that the anti-mage can join the fights a bit earlier, even with just the Battle Fury Manta. And you kind of want to have something against it. Okay. Oh, wasn't expecting that.
No, I don't know how I feel about that.
Not good, not good. Anti-Mage is definitely going to be wanting to join the fights early, right? Because people are going to be blowing up, and when you look at Hydra, none of their heroes are super high in HP, so that mana void, it's not only going to hurt the Storm, but everybody around him.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it might have... I mean, it should have a good time against the Pangolier in the mid lane, but yeah, once that anti-mage starts to get involved, are you expecting then the Storm Spirit? Because we usually see, like, say, the Witchblade into, like, a Kaya, the BKB to come out, but are you expecting here the Storm Spirit to go for a quick Lincoln Sphere to try and help deal with that mana void?
A Witchblade, BKB, Lincolns, that's going to be the build, and maybe there's a Kaya or a Falcon Blade somewhere between that one. And yep, we're going to be seeing a Collapse Mars. Well, Hydra, you did win game number 1, but you're now up against literally
Who is the best?
the
I am
comfort
the
picks of Spirit. So
Yeah.
Who is
good
the
luck
best?
for this
I
one,
am-
Spirit. I think they definitely have a better draft. So many ways for Team Spirit to play this one. And Hydra, they're going to have to be very fast on the map. Your lanes need to go well. The supports need to deal with that one. And then they need to collapse towards the mid lane and make sure that Warwick continues farming well. Because if the Storm Spirit starts falling behind at any point in this game, he's not going to be a factor.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard for him to get back online if he does. And you, like you say, Warwick in that last game, he had the space created from his teammates. He was able to storm that, the meteor hammer down in the mid lane, take down that tier 1 tower. But Storm just isn't going to have that option coming into this game. So lineups, Team Spirit on your mind then? You think of them more powerful coming into game number 2?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in their lineup right now. Last time, seeing them as the favorites, given that they are coming in as the favorites now, I do feel like their lineup is stronger as well. The only thing I'm uncertain of is how well Yatoro will be doing in the safe lane, but considering he has an Undying, it should be a good lane for him either way.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about how powerful and how quick the Shadow Fiend can get online. But guys, before we find out how this game is going to go, we're going to take a quick word from our sponsors over at EGB. Here it is, check it out.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600. Cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
So, straight into game number 2, and we can see here, HYDRA, they're looking a bit relaxed. They're comfortable. They've got that 1-game lead, and meanwhile, on the side of Team Spirit, maybe just a little bit more. You can see the intensity in the eyes here. A couple of players not even blinking, getting into this laning stage. So coming through here, we see Kami already in the mid lane on that, just in front. He's got the wards down, or there is wards down, close to each other. And we'll see if there's any dual wards to come out to deal with either of these observers that have gone down.
And we're gonna be needing to mute Leviton, or we are gonna be loving winning so much. And last game we didn't praise HYDRA, like, yo, thank you for not giving him the Enchantress, but now they will do it, and this is gonna be a torture for us and the viewers for sure.
I mean, I have Leviton muted, so I'm okay, and that's all that really matters.
Every time I get into a game, I'm looking at it if I have any of the players muted from pubs or something, so that I unmute them, I see what they're writing. And when it comes to Leviton, I don't have him muted from pubs, but from casting. Like, why the hell would you do that? Just watch one game of HYDRA and you are gonna understand.
Yeah, everybody likes to have a bit of fun with the voice lines, but Leviton, I'm pretty sure he has it. Like, he has his little timer set up in like the corner of his screen or something like that, and he just has like a macro going just to make sure these voice lines get going and get going and get going. And yeah, he likes to spam them out.
Yeah, and he loves winning, and we don't love hearing about it. So
he loves winning. Yeah. But he's not going to love being chased down by Miposhka and getting right-clicked by the Undying a little bit.
Yeah, that's one that doesn't work out, and maybe Miposhka is gonna be working a little bit for us and keeping him busy. Meanwhile, mid lane, this should be a Storm Spirit winning matchup. He's up against the melee hero. Pango likes to get close and personal, and against the Storm Spirit, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, you can already see Lol is being absolutely punished here in this lane, and once the level 2 comes out with the Storm Spirit going for the Overload, it's just going to get even worse here for Lol in this lane. So we'll see how he's going to be able to do. The odds on the screen here. Team Spirit still favored, and we'll see how long that lasts.
Now, HYDRA, like, what do we need to do to prove ourselves finally? Like, how many of you do we have to beat? But yeah, I mean, Team Spirit isn't really a team that anyone is gonna be thinking they're gonna lose. But it is, they're not in a good spot currently.
Leviton getting cheeky. He's going to be able to take down both couriers, and yeah, he loves winning. As he's going to be able to move himself away. Miposhka trying to chase down, but the poor shambling zombie not going to be able to catch up to the Ench, and the Ench just keeps putting damage onto him now as well. Though the Goose going to be able to go. In fact, yeah, Miposhka, one more impetus. Is that going to be the kill, or did he save it for Cloud? It's going to be Leviton, and you can see that Miposhka, he was trying to get cheeky there, maybe trying to give it up to the neutrals, but it is going to be Leviton to secure that kill.
Yeah, he was waiting for that one, and that's why Lefton wanted to get the kill. You just wait for the impetus, and with the extra damage, there's just no way that you're not going to be taking him down.
Yeah, so good start, great start here for, I mean, Leviton in particular, taking down both of those couriers and a hero kill. What better start could you ask for?
Yep, it is perfect. It is pretty much perfect, and those couriers dying is definitely going to make sure that the other lanes also have the regen necessary to play the lanes properly.
Yeah, no, it's a nice little bit of bonus gold here now as well. Miposhka hiding himself in the trees. But if we take a look at the top lane here, Kami on the last hits, it's being contested a bit. Mira, you know, he's trying to stop these pulls from coming through from Happy, but he has to be careful about being caught out, because like you say, a toss back into a couple of raises, and all of a sudden your disruptor, he's disappearing.
Yeah, currently he doesn't have both the avalanche and the toss, but once the tiny hits level 3, that is danger territory for pretty much everyone.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, like you say, he's holding that point just in case he could maybe get close for that toss. But yeah, for the minute, Disruptor, Mira, he's playing away. They have this ward as well. Bottom lane, though, there's going to be maybe some damage coming through from Lefton. Back onto Miposhka. Miposhka going to get himself away from this one because there's a Silken Boulder coming out once again. The Yatoro trying to do this magic damage, and Yatoro, ooh, it's a lot of damage on Cloud, but he has to blink himself away. Yeah, Cloud, he almost gets the kill onto Anti-Mage, and like you say, Anti-Mage, he has to leave. Will be able to get himself over to the secret shop for that Ring of Health, but he's still going to be looking oh so low in this lane.
Until he gets that full Vanguard, that's always going to happen. You want the Broodmother not to have the mana for the Insatiable Hunger, but 2 mangoes, 10 stick charges, yeah, Cloud is safe.
Yeah, he's going to be absolutely fine. In fact, the courier coming through now as well. So it looks like that should be, it's going to be his wand. And it's going to be an extra boost now as well to that regen coming through for Cloud. And Cloud just chasing down once again. The mana will be taken away, but Yatoro, he just changes targets once again. And Yatoro has to blink himself away from this. Miposhka in the trees, breaking vision away from Lefton. Lefton has that impetus in a couple of seconds, but Miposhka, as long as he doesn't show, he should be fine here.
Again, we're seeing the Undying lanes. We win the first 3 minutes, and then what? Well, Lefton and Cloud, they did do a solid, good job to stay on a certain, you know, level of farm in this lane, and now it feels like they're much stronger than their opponents.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, if Anti-Mage tries to blink himself out Cloud, you know, and then tries to come back in, you've got to be worrying then about the enchant coming through from the Enchantress for that slowdown. As long as he has, I mean, the clap coming through from the Hellburst smashing there as well. If you can place that correctly, Yatoro could be in a whole load of danger. In fact, Miposhka once again slowed down, being chased out, Cloud out of mana, but Yatoro going to be going for that blink away from the damage of Miposhka. Yeah, he has to back himself up to the tier 1 tower as Yatoro just continues to be punished.
Well, they're continuing to apply pressure on the bottom lane, and that's pretty much where all the action is, because everybody else is just focusing a little bit more on farm. Larl, he is getting some help from Mira right now, but nice call from Warwick. He understands getting close to level 6, that is when the enemies are gonna try to kill you, and that's why he just moves back to the jungle.
Yeah, especially when he's sitting on such low... Oh, Yatoro actually gets a kill into Lefton in the bottom lane, though. Yatoro is going to be paid for this because Cloud, he might even dive underneath the tier 1. He's not. Miposhka gets low. That Silken Bowler, he's not got it for the next 7 seconds. Wouldn't actually have the mana for it anyway. This time really wouldn't have the mana for it unless these spells start to stack up. And he gets those magic 1 charges, but both of the heroes in this lane looking so low. So Lefton, if he TP's in, he might be able to get something with the impetus. Again, only level 1 on that. But yeah, you can see the Undying already starting to back himself up, walk back towards that fountain.
Anti-Mage is getting his Vanguard delivered, so that's definitely gonna change this lane a bit. So we'll see if it's enough for him not to be taking all that much damage. Meanwhile, mid lane, Larl does go for the Rolling Thunder. Should not be able to get a kill on the Storm at least.
Oh, not on the Storm, no, but Happy's going to get some punishment, a lot of punishment, actually. The Avalanche does come through, the Toss is going to be there now as well, the Glimpse onto Warwick, so they do get the kill onto Happy, and yeah, level 5 on Warwick. He's a creep away, it looks like, but not yet having that ball line, and wasn't able to deal and catch back up after being glimpsed.
Now, with the addition of these water runes, right, I mean, they've been here for a long time, but naturally, lane winners, you know, Storm versus a melee hero should crush him, but when there's so many heals that you can just rely on, well, then you win the lane just by CSing and focusing on the, on healing yourself up with the water runes. That's why Larl, right now, he's ahead of the Storm.
Yeah, no, and he's looking pretty good here as well with that Orb of Corrosion again. Level 6 comes out from Warwick now, though, so he will be able to get himself away as Kami, speaking about someone who can't get themselves away, collapse. He just could not get away from this damage coming through from the Shadow Fiend.
HYDRA knows how to play this this duo, and we are probably going to be seeing a lot of tosses into a Requiem in this game, which is going to be very, very fun to see.
Yeah, and again, all through Tour 1, you know, Collapse, he was probably, I mean, maybe not as good as Nightfall, because Nightfall was just an absolute MVP of like Eastern Europe in the last tour. But Collapse, you know, he never ever really lost a lane. But it just seems like today he's having a really off day. It seems like, as he do get the glimpse back into the spear coming through, but happy he's not going to die just yet. Mira might be in trouble. One more raise, a couple more right clicks, it will be enough to get the kill. Collapse has to back himself away from this one. Is he looking for the spear? As Lyle gets a kill into Leffington, and it looks like even more on the Brood. No, the Brood should be able to get himself away. But yeah, Collapse today, at least in the past, he's had, you know, Tour 2, he still had some really good games, but today it just seems like HYDRA, they know how to play around him, and they have his number coming into game number 1, and game number 2, not as good either.
Yeah, Leffington doing his things, right? This is what he does when he doesn't know what to do. He just goes on the other part of the map and starts being very much annoying to the enemy. So he died next to an enemy tier 3, and to be honest, he's not gonna be too mad about giving that kill away.
No, probably not. Probably not here as he moves himself into the jungle, but the zip-zap forward here from Warwick. Does he want to go for that vacuum drag, the Vortex drag back as well? Looks like he's just trying to use those remnants. Now the Vortex comes out. A lot of damage for Lyle. He's going to try and go for the swashbuckle, but again, Leffington is close. Any points, no points into those Nature's Attendants. So it's just going to be the 2-2 here. The glimpse back as well onto the Ancient Ench. Not going to be able to do a whole lot, but at least the storm survives.
Very nice move to hide into the trees by Warwick. He did see the disruptor on the ward, so he had info, but still very nice movement there. If he gets glimpsed back, he might lose enough mana for Spirit to feel confident diving.
Yeah, and at least Yatoro, you know, it was on camera just then. He's having a pretty good time because he's got that Vanguard out. So Cloud not able to harass him down as much as he was before that Vanguard was there. Top lane though, the Avalanche was that toss right back. The Tombstone comes out. The Requiem's going to be used in the Fear now as well. The push back onto Collapse. Collapse, does he want to come back in? The arena will be here and happy. He might go down. He will go down. Warwick going to be glimpsed. He doesn't actually go for the ball lightning or anything like that. He just gets dragged back, so not able to get that kill onto maybe Collapse before he does get pushed back into the mid lane.
And Collapse, he does have the Meteor Hammer, so his tower will be taking a ton of damage. HYDRA messed up. I hyped up their toss into a Requiem, and Kami just used it a little bit too early, and because of that, they just don't get the kill. But they do get a kill in the mid lane. That was unexpected.
Yeah, no, there was a good rotation in, and yeah, Storm Spirit just got aggressive, using all of his mana there. And like you say, Leffington, he knows that he isn't going to be doing much on this bottom lane apart from soaking XP away from Cloud, so he has left that lane. He is looking to get himself around here, looking to have some impact, and was able to set up for a good kill onto Lyle.
And not only that, they're gonna get the Arcane Rune onto Storm, so Warwick will be able to do even more now on the map. He actually has a decent chunk of mana even before using the Arcane Rune.
Yeah, has a Clarity coming in now as well as those Power Treads, so this is going to be a decent timing for Warwick. If they maybe want to look for a rotation here, and they are going to go for a smoke, so it looks like they might just make a dive onto Collapse, because Collapse, he's trying to do what he can to push down this tier 1 tower, and he's done a lot of damage to it actually, nearly taking it down, but the Storm Spirit, the diving comes through. This could be Collapse going down here, and HYDRA looking to pick up another kill on the board.
He's looking very much dead.
Yeah, the jumper comes in, the raises will be there now as well. Maybe trying to save that kill, but it's going to be Happy that picks it up with the toss. And now Maposhka, he's going to be a bit of a Brucey bonus. Can the disrupt? No, there's going to be the dive forward now bonus as well. And Warwick, that glimpse probably saves Mira's life.
It does, but the good thing for Team Spirit in this game is that they're still doing some damage to the tower. Yes, HYDRA are preventing them from killing it, but if you look at the bottom lane, Yatoro, he's just keeping Cloud on his toes. He is stronger currently with the Power Treads and the Vanguard. Cloud, he cannot even use his Spiderlings to apply any kind of pressure to the AM.
Yes, Observer, yes. I don't know if you caught that, but he just went and he manually muted Leffington. So even the Observer getting sick of the voice lines coming out.
Nicely done, nicely done. That is, I think the chat is asking for it, right? The Observer on itself, he wouldn't have decided to do that, but because the chat is asking for it, we can't really do anything against the fans.
No, yeah, they are in the right most of the time. Most of the time, they are right, apart from when it comes to what's going on in the game. But Yatoro, Yeah, Yatoro uses the mana void on Cloud as well, and Cloud, like you say, sitting in this lane, he's not had any mana. He's got those mana boots out now as well, but he's not had barely any mana for the past 5 minutes. Meanwhile, the mid, the Glimpse comes back. Do they get the kill? They do. They take down Happy, and LOL will be able to get himself on the board here with that kill. But yeah, it's going all right for the Broodmother in this lane, but Yatoro having a really good time here, and ever since that Vanguard came out, there's not been a whole lot HYDRA can do to contest into him in this early laning stage.
That Storm is now rotating. He's the one that might be able to do enough damage, but Spits are coming over. Nice scan from HYDRA, though. They see Anti-Mage is playing a little bit back, so they're expecting there might be a bait coming forward, and that is exactly the case. HYDRA now are the ones that are baiting in with 4 heroes here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and I mean, they do take that tier 1 tower on the top lane now as well. Collapse with the Meteor Hammer doing the damage. The Mana Void, well, it comes out, and Yatoro's just doing it to take those spiders down early. But that's not going to be available if the Storm Spirit wants to go for the dive in. The enchant maybe to try and bait out the counter spells, something like that. But Yatoro, he is going to be playing a little bit further back. And where's that jump going to come from the side of HYDRA? Because again, he's got 2 heroes standing behind him, and it looks like HYDRA, they're looking to maybe scout it out, but Spirit playing really safely at the minute in this lane.
Yatoro knows he's having a perfect game, right? So he just needs to keep his cool, and he's gonna be getting a super early Battle Fury. Look at this, he's like 500 gold away because he will be disassembling the Vanguard. So no reason to be super aggressive here. Just stand your ground and everything will be fine.
Yeah, and you can see that HYDRA, they've lost that tier 1 tower on the top. They're not actually going to put pressure onto Collapse. They want to be taking a tier 1 tower of their own, but Yatoro wants to come in. There's going to be the Glimpse now as well. Leftyton, can he get himself away from this one? The Storm Spirit dives in, but where's that Mana Void? It's still 16 seconds away, so they might be able to get the kill. Ultimate Poshkum, and Poshkum goes down, and Warwick gets the kill. Rotation TP comes in from Collapse. Collapse, so it might be Happy the one to fall on the side. No, the toss back onto the Anti-Mage.
SF is here.
That blink away, and yeah, the SF rotates in. They might even be able to get the kill onto Yatoro, but they do. They take him down. They stop that timing on the Battle Fury. They go for Mira. They're going to go for more Warwick, though. He's out of mana. The right click's coming through the spear, takes down Leftyton, and it looks like Collapse. If you want to come back into this, maybe save LOL. He can't. He absolutely can't. They take down 4. They lose 2, but they only lose both supports. And HYDRA, great rotation, great setup, and great timings to take that fight underneath the tier 1.
Warwick keeping that haste rune all this time to be able to go in and out of fights without using a lot of his mana. But they knew the Anti-Mage didn't have the mana void. And imagine you're a brood mama, you killed my babies, and because of it, you will die. That is the main reason him not having the mana void allows HYDRA to go for that dive, and the bonus kills from Spirit that came through, they're gonna be pushing them even farther ahead. Yes, the Anti-Mage has a good game, but SF, he has better one.
Yeah, and you take a look at, like you said, the net worth, even before that Battle Fury comes out, like you say, SF, he's going towards that. He's already got himself the Dragon Lance, he's got the extra damage, even throwing out a couple of taunts, but he's ahead. He wants to go towards that BKB, and I expect as soon as that BKB comes out, we're going to see more fights like that from the side of HYDRA, looking to either shut down the Anti-Mage or just take map control away from Spirit.
Yep, and Warwick is gonna have his Witchblade soon, so then he can start working towards the BKB, and you just need more fights like this because you don't want the Anti-Mage to get super strong super fast, because then he'll be able to punish you before you have the BKB. But once you do, then you can jump in and maybe even focus on killing the Anti-Mage in fights if he's there.
Yeah, and we'll see now. I mean, there's going to be heroes grouping up from the side of Spirit, so do they actually, it looks like they're just helping move around and just helping Collapse find some farm on this top lane. Just maybe trying to get some vision down as well. But yeah, Spirit, how do they want to go about fighting this? Because I mean, we've already talked about Mira. Disruptor feels so bad when you're behind, and at the minute, HYDRA, they feel confident enough to take that driver's seat.
They have 2 items that just came out: Blink Dagger on the Mars and the Diffusal on the Pango. So the timing of Team Spirit, it is there now, right? Now is the time when they fight as 4, they try to get kills, and the Anti-Mage is farming. If they do not use this timing, then I would start being slightly afraid for them, because HYDRA, they're not gonna wait for long. Once this BKB comes up, Kami is coming for your mid lane tower, he is coming for your Roche, and Warwick, well, he's coming for Collapse.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get the kill with the help of Happy here as well. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, HYDRA, he's taking away these spiderlings against the Broodmother. But the Broodmother now as well, 16 minutes in, has these Greaves. So that's going to be a nice item for the team fights. Going towards what looks like the pipe as well here. So it is going to be the full aura build for the Broodmother, at least in this early stages from Aposhka. Did he actually find the kill onto... Did he take down Leffington? Leffington trying to get himself away from this. The Nature's Attendants are going to be going now as well. The Roman Thunder. It's a lot of damage, but it's not quick enough until they do get that swashbuckle, finding the kill. And his teammates who were oh so close to diving in there, but won't be able to respond after Leffington goes down.
Leffington is literally being toxic to his own carry. He stole that tombstone from Kami. What the hell? Kami came over to get it, and he was stopping the attack and finally gets it. Okay, that's a weird one. So I'm not sure. Does he even like his carry?
Maybe he's thinking, yo, he's the Enchantress. He's thinking he should be the carry.
Okay, maybe. He does have the Dragon Lance, so to be honest, he is going to be a big factor in the later portions of the game. But once he gets like a Hurricane Pike and maybe a BKB, he is a hero that doesn't... No one on the side of Team Spirit does well against him, do they?
No, and we'll see, you know, exactly how they're going to move around, because there's going to be a smoke coming out. So Leffington looking to have some more impact now as well. The 3-man smoke. Do they get this jump on that? Collapse, Mira, keep him close to each other. But how are they going to look into the jungle? It looks like they're just going to stall a bit on the smoke and not actually be able to find anything just yet. Moving into the Radiant jungle. Who's going to be able to get the jump in? Do they actually get the catch onto HYDRA?
He blinked. If they knew about that one, HYDRA probably would have died. They have a blink on Tiny.
Oh, the spider, it sees it. Yeah, there's going to be the jump in. The counter spell comes out.
Gone.
The toss will be there. He's going to be taken down, and Warwick gets the kill.
The second that the toss came through, that counter spell, it was apparent that the Storm still had its stun, and the whole point of this smoke was to get the mid lane tower down before Kami gets his BKB. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So right after that one, you have this opening to go for Roche, to go super aggressive.
Yeah, the arena comes out now as well. They have the lockdown. Was that Meteor Hammer? He doesn't have that BKB just yet now. For the right-click damage, is he going to be able to Static Storm? Doing a whole load of damage, and they do get the kill. But that's going to be the Death Requiem coming through now. And can they clean up even more into this HYDRA? They're going to be able to take down Lol. They get the Vortex back into Poshka can't get himself away from this one, surely. And no, it's going to be Warwick. He spawns those Spiderlings with the help of Cloud. And he might even be able to get the kill. But surely not. Warwick is out of mana. He's trying to use those bottle charges. The Thunder Strike's coming through, though. Mira's taking so much right-click damage. He just has to get himself away. And you can see that HYDRA TPs himself up to the top lane. Look at that Mana Void. Warwick, though, yeah, does he blink himself in? The Mana Void comes out. Warwick, he survives for a little bit longer, but he will eventually go down. It will be HYDRA that picks up that kill, and HYDRA just has to go for that blink away. But now it puts Mira back in the firing line here now as well. The glimpse comes out. Leffington still chasing. He's got that Hellburr. Won't be able to catch up and get the smash off.
Oh, this was so close to being an absolute disaster for Spirit. Imagine if they go for that play and the BKB gets delivered at that point. It is an decimation of Spirit without them even killing the SF. But with them killing the SF and now HYDRA coming over and finishing off the Storm Spirit, that fight ends up being okay. The gold lead will not increase, but HYDRA, they're still going to be hitting their item timings in a pretty good time here in the game.
Yeah, and like you say, if you'd have had that BKB, he wouldn't, you know, he maybe survives through the Static Storm, goes for even longer, and they clean up, I mean, they clean up a lot anyway, so it just meant that, I mean, Kami came down early, so you would have liked the gold, would have liked the experience from the kills that came afterwards. But yeah, he's still going to be fine going towards this Chrysalis, and he's having a really good time. Not only keeping pace, but he's still a little bit ahead here of this Anti-Mage with this Battle Fury. And they just keep pulling the Anti-Mage away from where he wants to be farming, because they're just the 5-man, they're ready, they've got their items. Why can't they just fight this one out? And Spirit, they have to respond to it, and the HYDRA are the ones, again, setting the pace in this game.
The only way that HYDRA lose a fight is if Warwick loses a lot of mana, and you kind of go through that one by just walking into the pit. This is what I was talking about. You get the BKB on the SF and you go in the pit. If Spirit didn't take that fight in the mid lane, this game would be a disaster for him.
Yeah, and look at this Leffington. He just buys the vision, you know, the knowledge of what Team Spirit are. The Meteor Hammer is going to be used here now as well. If the Mars dives in, the BKB will be active on Kami. So, does he actually want to go for this now as well? No, they don't. And the Aegis, it goes away with Kami. He's just making sure somebody picked it up, and they get a free Roche out of it. Close to free with the Ench going down. Did he want to go? Oh, the counter spell comes out. HYDRA, but Happy's going to be coming in now as well. They have it. The avalanche comes through. Was that Vortex? The remnants now as well. And HYDRA, he's got the counter spell, but the dive in the back line. So they have the damage to take him down. The remnants not going to be enough. So
It
close.
didn't explode. It didn't explode. It just needed some time to charge up, and we all know that Storm is a narcissist, so he just wanted to look at himself, and because of it, the AM will live. Oh, that was so close. HYDRA, he thought he could get that kill, but against the Tiny, it's so hard. Even if you get the counter spell off, the avalanche lasts long enough for him to be able to toss you up in the air.
God, I hate that that spell's on a 3-second cooldown at level 4. Like, it's just... obviously, I know it's the, you know, one of the strengths of the anti-mage, but you saw it every time the Vortex was looking to come out. Just counterspell, counterspell, counterspell. And they just couldn't get the lockdown. I mean, good for HYDRA, you know, gets himself away. But from a pub mentality, I hate the counterspell game. And now Happy, he will go down.
I'm actually surprised that HYDRA gave the Aegis to the SF, considering he has a BKB and Storm didn't have his just yet. I understand he's the one that's going to be attacking towers, but it doesn't look like HYDRA are looking to push the bottom lane.
No, I think it might have been just a bit of maybe panic, you know, making sure there was no dive in, no one could steal it. It was just if you can pick it up, you pick it up between the two heroes. So, I mean, it's not going to be a massive issue here because Warwick's still looking pretty good.
And this is why Anti-Mage in good hands is just such a nuisance of a hero. He's just pulling everybody by their nose around the map, and it just creates so much space for his team to get the tower down. He almost gets the last hit there, but just messes it up a little bit, and it is actually the Orb of Corrosion that secures it for the Pango.
Yeah, HYDRA, and yeah, no, like you say, it's only going to be Happy, so he comes in with the Avalanche, the toss comes up, has to blink himself away, counterspell will be used here for HYDRA, but he's putting pressure onto this tier 3, he's trying to force HYDRA back, you know, he's trying to get some TPs back here, because HYDRA looking to put pressure on this bottom lane, and is it going to be enough? Is the Anti-Mage just blink himself away? Maybe not sure where these 3 heroes are that are smoked up, but they didn't TP back, that's the most important part. They are going to be looking through, maybe making a move through the river, you know, to get a backstab off onto this Anti-Mage.
I like the no panic coming out from HYDRA, right? With this smoke, you're at least taking over the entirety of the map. Let's see if HYDRA makes a mistake and gets caught. Usually he wouldn't be.
They're actually going to be going, they take down Maposhka, the TP, he has to cancel it because there could have been the blink in into the Avalanche.
They see him!
Happy, this is a big mistake from HYDRA now as well. The Vortex, it is going to be counterspelled out, the Mana Void comes through, but
nice.
He's still so healthy in HYDRA, he just has to go for the blink away.
Nice Guardian Greaves just in time so that he doesn't take all that much damage. Overall, though, probably wouldn't have died anyways, though. But again, counterspell, it is the thing that saves his life. If the Electric Vortex does come through, I'm not seeing him getting out of that one. HYDRA?
Oh, the Requiem, the Fear is going to be coming through now as well. Where's that dive in from the Storm? He doesn't have actually have the mana for it. So it will be HYDRA getting himself away. And the Requiem was used there.
Oh, he didn't know what he was jumping into there from HYDRA, and now they want to smoke because there's no BKB, no Requiem on the SF, meaning that the Anti-Mage actually can fight.
Yeah, I mean, there's still that Aegis for the next minute and a half, though. And Shadow Fiend, the glimpse comes back onto Happy. He might just be the sacrificial lamb. He's not going to go down without swinging now as well. It's Happy with that Avalanche to toss up as well. HYDRA will get the kill, but he just buys time for the rest of his teammates here, HYDRA, to have that knowledge of where most of Spirit were.
Things are getting dangerous for HYDRA, but this is the timing of the Anti-Mage. Once he gets his Basher, that is when he's pretty much at his strongest. Manta, Battle Fury +1 item. We're not going to be counting the Vanguard. So once the Basher comes out, that is when the Anti-Mage wants to join fights and from a good angle come and murder everybody.
Yeah, speaking of murder, though, it looks like they might be able to get themselves on top of the group of the 3 heroes. 4 heroes. Do they let him go? It looks like HYDRA is going to let this one fall, or let this hero fall.
You don't murder spiders, you squash them, Rob. You know, that's what I tell myself. But if I would go about it murder, I would be crying for every single spider or bug that I have ever squashed.
But Kami, how close is he? He's going to go to the Silver Edge, and he's not too far away from it, I don't. He's going to go to the Silver Edge, and he's not too far away from it, I don't think either.
Yep. Both him and AM at one point in this game are going to have butterflies, and I'm not sure who from them wants to build up an MKB. I'm guessing it's going to be Kami at some point, but he is already stacked on this SF.
Yeah, I think the Anti-Mage would be it is going to be the Abyssal Blade. Obviously, he's still got that Vanguard anyway, so that is going to be available to him. Is that the Bash? It is, so it's going to be the Abyssal and about 1,200 gold, which is going to be a big pickup. You know, you get yourself on top, blink yourself in, get the stuns off onto the Shadow Fiend, and then just try and right-click him down before he gets his ultimate off. That could be a big impact item here once the anti-mage starts to get involved in the fights.
Warwick is being greedy. He wants to go for an Aghanim Scepter, which is great because then the counter spell won't be able to do anything against you, but you're not going to have the Lincoln Sphere, which means that the Abyssal Blade is going to be the bane of your existence. You just die.
Yeah, no, that is true, and we'll see if he wants to go back for that afterwards. I mean, he's got the Ags into the Sanjin Kyra queued up, it looks like, but all of a sudden, yeah, this game, Team Spirit, they seem to be right back in it here. And like you say, Yatoro, now head of the top of the net worth, he's looking like a big impact hero as long as he doesn't get caught out.
They're in control, right? They are the ones that are pushing out the waves a little bit more. They're the ones that are controlling the map. And they're not necessarily weaker in inside of a team fight. So Team Spirit right now, they're definitely feeling good. And once they get that Abyssal Blade, it is going to make Yatoro have this the solo kill potential, and that changes the game quite a lot because you're not going to be able to send one hero to deal with the wave that the anti-mage is pushing out, but you're going to need multiple of those, and if you send one, your support or even your core might just actually get blown up.
Yeah, and let's see here, the smoke coming out from the side of HYDRA, but Spawn Spiderling is going to be used, so if they were paying attention here, Spirit, they might know something's up. Miposhka on the higher ground, maybe looking to break that smoke, but it's going to be the big wraparound here from HYDRA. Do they actually get the jump onto Collapse? He's going to be way on the other side of the river here as well. Lol, with a double damage rune, so if they jump into this Lol, he could clean up. He's got himself a Heaven's Halberd as well, so Kami, this could affect how much damage Kami's putting out. If he does get that Heaven's Halberd off, ooh, Mira, so close. Now the webs go down. Mira, Glimmer Cape comes out. Do they have the reveal? They do. They have that quick kill, and they might even be able to go for more. There's going to be the Rolling Thunder coming through now, but it looks like the back lines. Miposhka going to be the target. Whereas that Vortex drag back, it does come through, and they get the kill onto the Undying.
Even though their gem wasn't there, he was already dusted. You know, nicely done by the Storm having that one just to make sure that you get the bonus kill. And unfortunately for them, the Roche hasn't spawned just yet. But Collapse, if he dies, that's gonna be a disaster.
He gets that blink, and there was no jump in from the Storm turret. Yeah, he was close to going down, but just not able to sustain the damage from Cloud. And the spear push back here as well. But it looks like Kami, they want to go for this tier 2 tower, and Roshan at least 20 seconds away.
Yeah, he has that 15 level talent that the Presence Aura affects building, so this tower is gonna get demolished.
Oh, Collapse. He gets the Meteor Hammer down and then gets that blink out. And, I mean, Cloud was close to seeing him. Let's see. I mean, while this is going on, like you said, Anti-Mage just been a massive pain in the ass. Getting that split push out, not looking to engage just yet. The Abyssal Blade is there for him now as well. So this next fight, this is going to be a big item.
AM is also level 20, so he does have the blink range talent, meaning that he's going to be much faster to move around the map. Joining his team or split pushing, it doesn't matter. Both of those things are going to be very valuable for Team Spirit as the game goes on.
Yeah, at least Shadow Fiend here. He's going to be about 500 gold away from the Hurricane Pike. So that's going to be... I mean, if he doesn't get Abyssal, it's a nice way to push that Anti-Mage back or push the Mars back or anyone that jumps on top of you. But we'll see how effective it is actually going to be here for Kami.
Most of all, you want the movement for yourself. He might just be forcing himself forward because you don't have a blink, but you want to be able to have some kind of mobility inside of the fight. So I think it's mostly for that one.
Okay, and we'll see how he plays around it. Roche, a minute and 10 away. Oh, this guy, I mean, you've got these spiderlings that are just spreading out. Look at these on the map. The little blue dots just scouting around everywhere, splitting into 2 groups. And I wouldn't be surprised if he parks one. They're all expiring soon, actually, so maybe not going to park one in the pit.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, that's what we're seeing right now. Whenever someone dies...
Follow the spiders.
Yeah, follow the spiders. But Spirit are not going to be getting into that one for sure. Overall, we still have a 1k gold lead for HYDRA. This game is even, but Spirit have more ways to make plays just because of the anti-mage potential. And this is what I was so afraid of when the anti-mage got picked up. Though now...
No! Oh, he still doesn't have the Axe. The Mana Void comes in. The Cream going to be used. Yeah, there's going to be the blink away here. So Kami, he counts it off. He doesn't have the mana for it now. Anyway, the illusion damage from the manas, the mana damage from the illusions the other way around. Thank you very much. He does take it away from Shadow Fiend. And great kill onto the Storm. How far away? Does he have any items on the courier? Where is his courier?
He does have the ultimate or the point booster, sorry, I think. Yeah, should have that one. But yeah, this is the Yadro factor on his anti-mage, right? You go for a play like that, you feel like it's gonna be great, and nope, it's not. And now once he gets the BKB, well, anti-mage is gonna be the strongest one in fights for sure.
Yeah, the Roshan has been started, but it was spotted up by HYDRA. The Spiderlings were in the pit. 7 seconds till the Storm Spirit back up. There is no outpost for him to TP back into, though. So there is a tier 2 tower in the mid lane. So you just make a massive dive. The smoke comes out. Really well played here from Spirit. But the Spiderlings, once again, in that pit to scout out. And they know Spirit no longer in there. The glimpse comes out onto the Brood. Do they have the lockdown? Do they have the clean off now as well? Requiem comes through. Yatoro, though, with the BKB. The Rolling Thunder was coming through. They're going to be able to get the kill on Cloud, and Cloud just cannot. Well, he doesn't have a buyback now as well. And it looks like they're even going to be able to go into Kami. Shadow Fiend with that BKB. It's not going to be enough. They find the kill. And they're going to be able to go for even more if they want to. Left and drag back by the Glimpse. And this should be, once again, the kill onto the Enchantress.
Yeah, Lefferton is not getting out of this one for sure, and now that is a Roche as well. And not a free Roche, but the Roche plus 3 kills as well. Cloud dying at the start of that fight. I don't know what he was doing, roaming around there, knowing that the enemies most definitely have a ward. I think HYDRA, the warding that ward on the high ground, where Miposhka just warded right now, well, they thought that was it. Team Spirit, they have no more vision. We can do whatever we want. And no, you cannot. They put so many wards around the pit, understanding that this Roche fight is going to be very much important for winning the game.
Yeah, and you see, Yatoro has that Aegis. He has the shot here as well. So he's going to have the counter spell, so reducing the enemy spell damage. And it's just, how do you really take down? Yeah, I mean, because you have to wait. I suppose you have to wait for this Ags to be up here on the Storm Spirit. But really, is that even going to be enough to get the kill into the anti-mage?
I don't know. Now when he has an Aegis and the BKB, I mean, killing him, it's really hard. I guess if he would make a mistake, die with the BKB on and then the Requiem just fearing him, the SF still has enough physical damage to bring him down. That changes once the butterfly is out.
Yeah, and how far away from that is he? He's got any of the items? It doesn't look like he's got any of the items just yet. Yeah.
I think he has a quarter staff, so that is one, and he has 1600 gold on top of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to find his courier, but they're all flying around on the map. But yeah, once this is up, ooh, do they actually get the toss back? They might be able to get the kill. Static Storm comes through, though. They do take that Undying down pretty darn quickly. Happy's going to fall in behind it, though. Yatoro with his BKB, the vacuum back on the jump lines. That Vortex
is winning.
Clean up onto the Disruptor. And we did get a kill now. The buyback comes through from Happy. It looks like they might be able to get the kill onto the left hand, but they've already taken down the Shadow Fiend. He might pop that Aegis. But again, the second life on the anti-mage, how do you really deal with this? Especially with Cloud being slowed down, the Fusel Blade comes out, and they get the cleanup onto the Brood.
Yeah, that was a fight that HYDRA felt like they had to take. You cannot give away every single thing for free and just allow yourself to be stuck in the base for the next 3 minutes during the duration of the Aegis. So you make a really hard decision to go for a fight, and you do everything right, but Team Spirit are just too strong. The second that the SS BKB starts running low and they get double spear, that is when the fight ends. So HYDRA should be lucky that the Aegis got taken down. At least that's gonna allow them for the next 6-7 minutes to be capable of coming back into this game. I'm not saying it's easy, but they do have a shot because the AM is killable at this point.
Yeah, I wonder if the Shadow Fiend hasn't bought anything out just yet, as far as I can see on the courier now. But the anti-mage has that butterfly up now. It will be flying out to him. In fact, it's in his inventory. So I wonder if this gets scouted out. If the Shadow Fiend changes gears, you know, just drops the idea of the butterfly and goes towards the MKB straight off the bat.
He should. He definitely should once he sees it, because you need to start the fight by killing Yadro. If Yadro is free to go around the fight, not using his BKB immediately, only using it to dodge the Requiem, it is a problem. So you need to jump him and you need to destroy him.
Okay, we'll see here the 4-man smoke coming through from Spirit. Lol, he's a little bit further behind, you know, but again, the Helven's Harbour, the Diffusal Blade, he's got this control coming out for his team, and it's looking really good coming through these fights.
For sure, and also Mira is approaching the Aghanim Scepter. Big items are starting to come up for Team Spirit, and HYDRA, because they're 12k gold behind, they're always gonna be feeling like they're an item behind. If the SF had an MKB right now, then I'd be okay. HYDRA has a chance, but that's another 5,000 gold that he does not have.
No, and we'll see how quickly. I mean, if he even does change gears here, because he should have seen, or somebody should have seen Yatoro with the butterfly there and let him know, you know, there's the butterfly on the anti-mage. But for the minute, he's not changing over from this butterfly of his own.
The thing is, you have the Mask of Madness. You want to disassemble that one into a butterfly and the Satanic. So if he continues this tunnel vision, I don't think they're going to have enough damage to kill him, even though now they do have the antagonist on the Storm. So the Electric Vortex is not going to be returned again by Yatoro.
Okay, well, we'll see, I mean, what he can do with this, because the Electric Vortex being the AoE now, it might, if they can get a good jump off and lock down a couple of heroes on the side of Spirit, you know, they might be able to clean up, like you say, Anti-Mage, like, plus Mars standing close, they could take them down, and, I mean, Mars, he's a big tanky boy, got himself the BKB, the Meteor Hammer, and the Hex as well. So it's going to be hard, even if you do get this jump, to get the kills, because Collapse, with this control of the arena, the spears, the hexes, you know, I don't know what HYDRA can do to play into this.
Kami did change his mind. So there's two options for HYDRA. Either Kami gets that MKB and you maybe even let go of a lane of Brax for it. Or Kami gets a Blink, tries to go for a Arcane Blink. Again, normal Blink is gonna do the job early on, but you need the Arcane Blink and you hope that the Storm is gonna get a big Electric Vortex and you go for the big Wombo combo, which is much harder to execute. So I think this approach might be better.
And we'll see, again, the Spiderling's moving through the jungle, just doing some scouting out, but, I mean, lol, he's already TP'd himself away. This could be, if HYDRA see it, I mean, they're going to see it as, because he's dealing with the creeps on the top lane. It looks like they're not ready yet, HYDRA, to go for a fight, and Spirit will you be able to take over this, the vision from the triangle anyway, and it's really hard for HYDRA to fight up into that high ground, up into their own triangle, so not going to commit anything to this, it doesn't seem.
There is one goal right now, and that's the MKB on the SF. Without it, I don't know if you can fight, because the AM is not gonna die. And if the AM lives through a fight, like 10 seconds, everybody on your side is just a goner. So I like the call from HYDRA, even though knowing they're in a 4 versus 5 scenario, it is just not the right time.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, Team Spirit, they're going to jump in. Did they get the stun up? They do, they get the Abyssal. Look at this, the damage coming through.
It's gone.
And Shadowfiend doesn't have a buyback. They're even going to be able to get the kill on the Storm. It's 2 cores dead. They're just going to call it. 38 minutes, yeah, they know there's no way back into this for them. And Team Spirit, after being so far behind in game number 1, you know, and it was a good start here for HYDRA as well in game number 2. Team Spirit take complete here for HYDRA as well in game number 2. Team Spirit take complete control. And yeah, the Yatoro anti-mage factor shows its head, and HYDRA just could not fight back into it.
I mean, he's the definite MVP of this one. The bottom lane where he dodged the gank from pretty much everybody, and even killed the Storm. That is where things started becoming hard for HYDRA. They had like a 3k gold lead at that point. But I have to say, Team Spirit, they did everything right in this game after the laning stage. Because even if you remember that fight in the mid lane where they got absolutely demolished, they did kill Kami just before his BKB came out. And that's kind of the story of what happened a couple of times in this game. Just before an item comes out, HYDRA slow down. Imagine HYDRA get that tower, get the BKB, go Roche. Suddenly they have like a 7k gold lead. They're coming forward and your AM is nowhere close to being able to fight at that point. But Team Spirit with just, you know, sacrificing some of their lives early on, just to delay HYDRA from some of their objectives, get Yatoro to a comfortable enough position to be more than powerful enough to end this game.
Yeah, and there was that 1-2-1 tower dive from HYDRA on the bottom lane that came out that I thought, you know, they were looking strong, they were looking in control, but like you say, Yatoro was just able to find space. He finds a farm. He doesn't really get interrupted. 9, 2, and 6 onto Yatoro, and then by the time they were trying to interrupt it, like you say, the counterspell just continuously comes out, and they can't get that jump. They can't get the grab. Happy tried with the tiny, getting the tosses off, getting the avalanches off, but in between everything, you know, Yatoro just carried on going with the counterspell, and Warwick just couldn't capitalize on what Happy was setting up. So there was some good showings for HYDRA again in game number 2, but Team Spirit, yeah, once Yatoro came online, he absolutely ran this game for them. And Collapse, not a great start for him, gets himself back in, finds some great arenas, some great spears as well to help set up with his team. Law looked pretty good as well. The Heaven's Albert comes out, stops Kami being able to get these right clicks, doing his damage, and all of a sudden Team Spirit find themselves in control and take game number 2 pretty easily here.
Overall, I think HYDRA, they respected Spirit in game number 1 so far that they could have won that game 30 minutes in, but it lasted for almost 50. In this game, they completely disrespected Spirit, taking a Storm into an anti-mage. I don't really think that was the play, and in the end, it did cost them, to be honest.
Yeah, what would you have liked to see HYDRA go for instead of the Storm coming out here?
I mean, anything like I don't know if the Ember was in play, anything that's not a hero that has so much mana, right? So Pagna and the Storm out of the picture, anything else completely fine. I don't know if like a TA mid would have been too greedy, but let's say a Snapfire in the mid lane. You know that the Laurel is playing a Pango and you're going to be against a melee hero, but rather than that, they went full on disrespect and they got punished for it.
Yeah, and that is going to be the story of game number 2, guys. But we do have a third and final game to come. But first, we're going to take a break. So we'll see you after this for the third and final, see how it's going to go between Team Spirit and HYDRA. We'll see you after the break.